Hey, everybody. Good evening. It's Thursday night. It's time for the Thursday Night Comics live stream. We got a lot of things to talk about. I got some books to show that I got in the mail this week, some really good ones. Um, some really good ones. So, yeah, this is going to be a good show and tell on some nice books. I've got a nice graded book that came in the mail today. Hopefully it's not been compromised. I don't think so. I think it's okay. And we're going to look at what's going on in the comic book news, the news world. We'll talk about some books that are on the move. A book that came out last week that I did not pre-order. I can't believe I didn't pre-order it. It's starting, I guess it's all over the Hot 10 lists. It'll definitely be on tomorrow night's Hot 10 list. It'll probably be the #1 book. I'm pretty sure it will be. Most of you already know what that is. Just going to go to comic news real quick. See if there's anything that we could take a look at. I like this first comic news. I don't know, I just kind of like the format. I like that it doesn't have a bunch of pop-up ads like Bleeding Cool or CBR. CBR is, man, that's become a trash site now. You guys collecting Transformers at all? I mean, I used to be into the Transformers cartoon when I was a kid. I think I had one Transformer when I was a kid. I wanted Optimus Prime, but he was always so expensive. Back in the day, I think he was like a $50 toy. I don't know. I ended up getting a Dinobot. It was the Tyrannosaurus Rex Dinobot. I can't remember what his name was. That's the one I had. I wish I had kept it. I don't know what happened to it. I don't know what happened to some of my toys. I still have original Star Wars figures, but I don't have that Transformer. I mean, I would have been into the Transformers too because they had some really cool toys. So I've always been sort of interested in the Transformers, but here's the latest news article. Will the Decepticons put an end to the Autobots in Daniel Warren's Transformers #5? So issue 5 might be a key issue. Obviously, issue 4 was the first appearance of Megatron. He's on the front cover, especially that 1 in 50 cover. I do want to get that cover. I've not been collecting Transformers. I don't know why. I heard it's a good book. I heard Dana Warren Johnson's done a good job on it. I don't know why I didn't pick it up. Did I think maybe Kirkman was writing it, did Kirkman write Void Rivals? I can't remember. I'm not a fan of Kirkman. Collected Walking Dead for a number of years. I've got issue 80 through the end of the run. But man, and then I bought several of his Image books that came out, and they were, man, he really only did 2 good books, Invincible and Walking Dead, and that was pretty much it. Everything else he launched was pretty mediocre. So not a big fan of Kirkman, but he's obviously not writing Transformers. He's got Johnson doing it, so it might be worth picking up. I missed the first few issues. I may just buy them in trade paperback. I got I do have the most important Transformers book to have in your collection, though. I do have that, which is the 9.6. I got a 9.6 graded copy, not newsstand, direct. I got it before all the recent hype started. I got this last year, probably summer of last year. I think I got it for pretty cheap, around $300, 200 to 300 range. Let's say What's a Transformers number 196 going for? Let's see. Sorry, I'm breathing heavy. I had to run upstairs. I need to work on my cardio. 96, 325. Oh, that's a second print. Yeah, $400, around $400. All right, I think I paid under 300. I think I paid like two something. I know it was under $300. So, yeah, so not bad. Transformers number 1. I think that's definitely the book to have in the collection. It's first appearance of Optimus Prime, the Decepticons, all of them are in there. And I think I also have I have 1 through 5 of the original run, and I know I've got the first appearance of like Starscream. I think he was in a different issue. I think number 4 maybe. Cheers, everyone! Drinking a little Basil Hayden bourbon. GTK Comics asking me, did you get a chance to watch the CGC executive interview? Any thoughts? No, I did not. Should we watch that together? We could take a look at that. But I find it on, I'm assuming I could find it on YouTube, right? Let's see if I can find it. Oh, is it the CGC president speaks on graded comic scandal? Okay, here we go.
Hey everybody, Dave here, and my friend Manu, the 9.9 Newsstand. You remember us. We've got a very special guest today, something that, well, I think everybody's going to want.
I'd love to start with, well, first I want to say thank you, Matt. Thank you for taking the time.
All right, Matt Nelson.
Coming. You know, ourselves, Dave, myself, the rest of the community, really eager to hear whatever you were able to provide us in the way of clarity. And then also, you know, coincidentally today, the day that we're recording this, January 15th, is.
We've done a lot of investigation the past month, and it seems like we have the situation contained. We have a good visibility on what's going on, and from a personal perspective, though, I mean, as a collector, especially a CGC collector, and even before that, it's really disheartening to see this happen. It's not just for all collectors, not just me, but the entire hobby out there that's affected by this. And so that's, it's very, very disturbing and very disheartening to see that. So it's unsettling on different levels for me. But as professionally speaking, we're definitely moving forward with this with a full investigation. And so that's the best we can do. But
so the best he can do. Yeah, this is. I mean, I know what he's going to say. He's not going to say anything other than we've investigated. We pretty much think we have it handled. They don't know for sure. There could be other compromised slabs. Absolutely. I mean, listen, this is graded, anything graded, coins, comic books, baseball cards. There is fraud all the time in all of these different platforms of professional grading. It's going to happen occasionally. It won't be the last time. So don't think that, the CEO comes out and says, oh yeah, we got it handled. We got it handled. It's going to happen again. And whatever type of contraption, I mean, first of all, are they going to re-engineer the case, the CGC case? I don't think they will. The cost in doing that is probably going to be pretty high. I can't imagine them doing a re-engineering. There's been at least 10. Well, I mean, I don't know if I want to add to the rant or not. You guys have known me for a while. I've not been a big proponent of grading. I don't usually submit books to get graded. I have in the past. I mean, a long, long time ago, I submitted a bunch of books, and back then I think it was only $10 or $15 to get a book graded. This shows you how long ago this was. This was probably, yeah, it was probably more than 15 years ago. It was a long time ago. And then I got the most recent book I got graded was Stuff of Nightmares #1. It was an R.L. Stine signed copy. That all I had to do was send that in, and they would put a yellow label on it without me having to physically get it signed by R.L. Stine. So that's the reason I did that. I think round trip with shipping and everything, I think it was around $60 to get that graded. Now it was a signature authenticated, which basically this was a special printed book cover by Berens. I think Bjorn Berens did the cover, and all those covers were hand signed by R.L. Stine. So I don't know. They charge more for the grading of an authenticated signature, even though I didn't have it signed in front of them. But there was a certificate that you sent in with the book that basically alleviated having to get it physically observed and signed by the author. So that's the reason I did it. That's the last time I got a book graded, was that Stuff of Nightmares #1, the R.L. Stine book. And there were only so many of those, so it was a pretty limited type of thing. So that's the reason I decided to spend the money. And it was about $60 with the shipping and all that, taxes and all that stuff included. So I'm not a big, I don't get my books graded. I will buy graded books on occasion, especially if I get a really good deal. I mean, sometimes I've bought graded books that were just a little bit more expensive than buying a raw book. So there are times when I think it makes sense to buy a graded book. But yeah, do I understand the risks associated with buying a graded book? Absolutely. Yes, it's very unlikely that the book I'm buying has something wrong with it, or that it's been compromised previously, but certainly it's still a possibility, probably minute. But yeah, it can definitely happen. And I've got a graded book to show off tonight. So I still buy graded books on occasion, not very often. Most of my books are raw. I put them in a MyLight 2 with a full back board, and I've got some really expensive, one of my most expensive books, is in raw grade. My ASM 300 newsstand is not graded. It's in a MyLight, well protected, and I'm okay with not having it graded. I like it the way it is. Now, if I ever wanted to sell that book, maybe I would consider getting it graded. Obviously, it might boost the value, but my view on graded books is, if you don't plan on selling your book, the only reason to get it graded is because you think there's a possibility that the grade could change. I don't know. You're worried about not having it slabbed. I don't really worry about it. I've owned old comic books for many, many years that have been in MyLights. MyLights are archival virtually forever. You don't have to change the MyLight out after so much time. So I'm more of a proponent of having raw books versus graded. I don't need to watch the whole scan. I mean, yeah, it's a scandal. Of course, it's fraud. You don't think this has happened to PSA and what's the coin? NGC, I think, is the big coin grader. I mean, it happens. It's going to happen. It's going to continue to happen. I don't think there's anything that's going to stop it, really. It's just, there's risks, man. Investing is always has risk. It always does. And if you happen to be one of the people affected by the scam, obviously CGC is going to try to do the right thing. And I don't know, I'm sure compensation will be afforded those individuals. I don't know. What's this about the WWE? I like wrestling comic books. I need to do a show on my wrestling comic books and just have on the wall all my wrestling comic books up. I need to do that. That'd be a good theme show. I don't think I'm going to dress up as a wrestler, but I don't. Maybe I'll have Biggie Shack on the show if I do. That'd be a good idea, wouldn't it? Have one comic book live stream all about wrestling comic books, and I'll have them on the back wall, all my wrestling books, and then maybe have Biggie Shack on the show with me to discuss it. I think that'd be a good idea. He can dress up as Hulk Hogan as he normally does. Let's see here. What's this news here? This came out January 17th. A partnership with American Corporate Partners, ACP, a national nonprofit organization dedicated to empowering returning veterans and active day spouses. Oh, okay. It's just something to, yeah, nothing to do with comic books, it doesn't sound like. Okay. Good on them, though, partnering with veterans. I think that's always a good thing. I support the veterans of the U.S. What else is in the news here? I may skip out of this in a minute. I was just trying to see. As you guys know, I don't do a lot of prep for my shows. It's pretty much fly by the seat of my pants. It's probably why I don't have as many subscribers as I should have. Don't spend a lot of time developing the quality of my content. It's sort of, the content is me just discussing my opinions. That's all it is. You're not watching my channel to get the hardcore facts about comic books. I don't do that. I don't go into detailed explanations why this story in this particular comic is worth reading. And I don't do comic book reviews too much. Yeah, I don't really do that. Yeah. Let me see if I don't go to Bleeding Cool very often, but let me just see if there's anything. I have to prepare for my laptop to shut down. I can't type Bleeding Cool. There we go. The Bleeding Fool. Rob Liefeld says DC Comics is doing an Ultimate Comics. All right. Oh, here comes the ads. Here comes up all the pop-up ads. Yeah, so full disclosure, I did not pick up Ultimate Spider-Man #1. I don't think I picked up even the A cover, which is, I don't know why I didn't. Why didn't I? Because I knew Hickman was writing it. I haven't been a fan of Hickman. I didn't like what he did with the X-Men run. He sort of started out good, and then he just sort of left it flopping in the wind. I don't know. Probably should have at least ordered the A copy. It's like $50 now for a regular A copy. It's amazing. $50. It's crazy. It's all over the Hot 10 list on Cover Price this week. It'll definitely be the #1 book on CBSI's Hot 10 list this week. Absolutely, that'll be the #1 spot. #2 spot might be one of the other covers as well. It'll probably take up 2 or 3 spots in the top 10. Ultimate Spider-Man #1. I don't know why I didn't pick it up. What, Cicchetto isn't Mark Cicchetto the artist and Hickman's the writer? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I didn't pre-order it. I didn't. I forgot. I just didn't even think about it. I don't know. It wasn't on my radar. That's kind of stupid, isn't it? Oh well. I'm going to go on a rant about that. The fact that I don't have any copies of Ultimate Spider-Man in my collection. And I'm not going to go out and pay $50 for that A cover right now. Or the black cover, I think is going for even more. I think that's going for like 70. I'm going to wait a few weeks. I think the hype will die down, as it does with all things. I don't know if there's any. This isn't. Is it a new Spider-Man? Is it just another universe? A new universe of Spider-Man? I'm not too sure. You guys will have to let me know. I don't know anything about it. It's like a relaunch of, the The Ultimate Spider-Man with was it Bendis back in the day? Bendis and Bagley. I had a lot of those books. I think I had the first 100 copies, all in short boxes. I've sold some of them. I still have quite a few of them though. I think I sold the big ones though. I sold number 5. I sold number 1. I had a red number 1, a regular A cover number 1. I think back in the day with the white cover was the big one, wasn't? Didn't they have like a white variant that everybody was chasing down, spending lots of money? And then of course all those books crashed and burned after they merged the universes with the current continuity, and basically Miles Morales replaced the Spider-Man from that universe. And then all those Spider-Man books, just, those Ultimate Spider-Man books, they just fell to nothing. I saw them all the time in dollar bins, all the time. I remember that red cover. I think it got down to like $20. You could have bought one mint, graded probably under 100. It's probably back up now. I don't know to what level, but yeah, I think that was definitely a bear market in those books for quite a while. All right, so Bleeding Cool. Let me look here. What else did they have? Rob Liefeld. Liefeld's still a big titan of the industry. People still follow him. He does a cover occasionally. Man, he's looking kind of ragged, isn't he? He looks dehydrated in that picture. He needs to drink more water. He said, I think Marvel's got a whole new rebrand, refocus on the X-Men. That's what they were shutting down. I think they meant to say that's why they're shutting down the Krakoa stuff. The new X-Men stuff will be good enough to warrant some legit excitement. And if any one of those planes legit lands, they're going to have something. Okay. He says DC is absolutely doing a ultimate reboot. I know people at the helm, the people in charge, and a lot of people called, a lot of people solicited to be part of it. I have mostly spoken to people who didn't choose to go on board. I don't think it's as far along as the Marvel stuff. All right. It may see Scott Snyder do Batman, Justice League, and Swamp Thing. He's a writer on those. A showrunner of the DC's Marvel Dark Metal events to make his return to the DC Comics. This is after setting up many creator-owned projects across Dark Horse, IDW, and Cosmic Comicsology, Substack, and Image Comics. Yeah, basically Snyder probably wants to come back to DC because his projects have really bombed. I mean, they've bombed. God, what was that one? He had that one for Image for a long time. It never really took off. It never did anything. Print run is still low on that thing. What was it? I can't remember what the name of it was. I think I collected the first 2 issues. It was terrible. The writing on it was bad. I don't know what it is about these writers, but man, it's like they have a small window of time in which they're good, and then they lose it, and they just can't. A lot of them just can't seem to recapture that little special thing that they had. Right? I mean, Scott Snyder, for me, his run on Batman was really good. I enjoyed most of those issues. His run in Detective Comics was really good. The Black Mirror was fantastic. He had some really good runs, epic runs at DC. But then after that, what has he done after he left Batman? All of his stuff. I mean, I guess the Dark Metal stuff. Yeah, some of that was cool. Not all of it. Some of it. The Batman Who Laughs was my favorite thing that came out of all that. I thought that was a really good villain, and I think you're going to see that come back. Yeah, they should just do more Dark Metal stuff. I don't know. I liked it. I liked a lot of it. Kenneth Bird stopped by to say hi. Good to see you, Kenneth. We got Luis Ramirez as well. Yeah, I don't know. Scott Snyder, Maybe he's going to take the reins there for DC. He probably has a good relationship with them still, I'm sure. I don't think it's going to be Tom King. Tom King is, they got him just doing side stuff, side projects. I don't know. I mean, I think he's still a pretty big figure at DC though. All right. I think I'm going to quit this Bleeding Cool. Let me get to, yeah, I'm back now. All right. So let's show off a few books here. I got this one in the mail this week. Got a really good deal off. I think I still got it off of Midtown for $40. I just like the cover. I mean, it's a 1 in 25. I certainly didn't pay ratio for it. It's just an awesome. I love the heads on the wall. I don't know why I didn't really see this in the pre-orders, or maybe I did and I just passed it over for some reason. Instead, I think I was more focused on the Sienkiewicz one. The Sienkiewicz 1 in 100. I love that cover. That's such a good cover. Yeah, I got 2 of them. Yeah, that's such a good cover. But yeah, I love the heads on the wall. This is by Casera. Did this one. So, yep. Picked that up for $40 off of Midtown. I think it still sells a little bit higher than that now, about $50 for that book at the moment. By the way, I went back and bought a couple Spawn books. I didn't have these in my collection for some reason. I was going through my my lists that I keep all my comic books on. What is that app? The hell's that app? I use it all the time. I can't remember the name of it. CLZ, yeah, the CLZ app. And I was missing a couple Spawn books in my run. I've got like 280 all the way to current, and most of them are just the A covers. So I picked up 292. I believe that is a Mattina cover, a Mattina and McFarlane cover. So I don't know if Mattina did the pencils maybe, and McFarlane inked it. Mattina McFarlane cover. There's the regular Mattina cover for 292, and then there was, yeah, I think just the 2 covers there, right? Oh, there's a version of this as well. I've got that in the back here. So there's a version of this cover in the back. And then I was missing 293. I was just missing this A cover. And I don't think that's a Mattina cover. Who the hell did that cover? Let me see. I can't remember who did it. It wasn't Mattina. It kind of looks like it would be Mattina. It has that look to it. Yeah. Who did that cover? Let me see. I think it was Mattina. Yeah, it was. All right, that was a Mattina cover. Yeah, just a cool looking cover. For some reason, I didn't have that in my collection, so I picked that up. I think I got the lot of them actually from the same seller off of eBay. So yeah, I got a decent deal. Yeah, obviously you're not going to get them for cover. Those books are, I guess they're a little bit hard to find. People say that some of them are short printed. That run up to 300, right? All right, what else we got here to show off? I'm going to kind of do this alphabetically. I like to do things alphabetically. I don't know why. It's just cleaner. Which one is that? Oh, yeah, okay. Trying to getting this organized by alphabetically. There we go. Yeah, let's show off these. All right, got some good ones here. These are some recent purchases that I just like to Just love the story. Some of them are story driven, like this one right here. This is more story driven. It's a cool cover though. The Enfield Gang Massacre. This is Chris Condon and Jacob Phillips. Man, this is a good story. I read the first issue. I love it. I ordered all the other issues. I think Midtown had most of them, like issue 3 through 5. I think Midtown had them. I think issue 2 I had to buy somewhere else. But man, this is a good, great Western story. It's by the team that does that Texas Blood. So it's an Image title. Number 1, you might be able to find it out there. eBay has it for like $20 to $30. I think it's around that price range. So not terribly cheap. The first issue is somewhat hard to find. They went to a second printing. There is a second print on that. That's a lot cheaper if you don't care about having the first print. Another one here. This is, I think I may have put this on Instagram. This is Fall of the House of X. That's the 1 in 100. No, the 1 in 50 by Artgerm. Yeah, I love that Artgerm cover. And then that was an exclusive Lyrics Lee. I think that was from the Comic Corner store. Limited to 500 copies. It has a COA and all that good stuff. I got it discounted through them, so I just picked it up. This is one I got a couple copies of. This one. This is that Moon Knight, Vengeance of Moon Knight number 1. This is the EM Gist cover. Beautiful Gist cover. I believe there'll be a MegaCon version of this. I think it will be slightly different, like it'll be in black and white maybe. I know he'll be at MegaCon. Eric's a really good guy. He's been on the channel. I talk to him quite a bit through Instagram, or communicate with him through Instagram. Really nice guy. He always responds. You know, he's just a good guy. Very salt of the earth type of person. That's the kind of people I like to deal with. And he just continues to kill it, man. He's got that exclusive deal with Trinity Comics for these Moon Knights, and he will have a exclusive at the convention, at the MegaCon convention. So if you guys are going to that, if any of you are going to that, you'll see Eric there. I think he'll be there. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, I got a good deal on these. This is Rise of the Powers of X number 1. This is the 1 in 100. I got this for $60. So one of the websites had it discounted heavily. I don't know why. It's a cool cover. It's by I think it's by Lozano. Yeah, it's a Lozano cover. Just an awesome cover. Mystique and Gambit. I like it. It's a 1 in 100. I got it for way less than ratio. And this is another one I got for way less than ratio. This is the Davy Go. I think it's Davy Go variant of Rasputin. And this is a 1 in 50 I got for $24. So I got it for a little less than half of ratio, that was a damn good deal. So yeah, that's plus free shipping. So couldn't pass that up. So that's why I picked those up. I like the covers on those. I don't really think they'll be great long-term investments, but you never know. Who knows? This is another one that did really well. I got this for slightly over ratio. This is a Nakayama Shazam number 7, the 1 in 25. This sells for about $50 right now, consistently on eBay. Maybe if you wait a few weeks, you might be able to get it a little cheaper. Maybe you can get it for around 40. But yeah, just an awesome cover by Nakayama. Did a really good job on that one. That was definitely on a Hot 10 list too, by the way. This is another one. I think it's been on the Hot 10 list at least once, or it was on Cover Price at least once. Spider-Woman. I think it's issue 2 or 3. I think maybe 3. This is the 1 in 100. This is the Ski Chalet variant. It's just a cool cover. I like, obviously, who doesn't like a scantily clothed woman in the frigid cold air? We're about to throw a snowball. It's just a cool looking cover. Nakayama, man, he's definitely good at these female covers. This is a good one. And not an easy book to find. You go on eBay right now, I mean, it still sells for way over $100. Way over ratio at the moment. This is another one. I like Berens, Bjorn Berens. I've talked about him quite a bit. I buy a lot of his covers, and this was a one. This is the 1 in 25 variant for Star Wars 42. Just a cool cover. Got this character that's basically in the crystal, the cyber crystal that Luke Skywalker is trying to excise the pain and suffering out of the crystal, trying to drain the dark side out of the crystal. And this is the character that apparently is involved in that crystal. So, yeah, it's a good cover. I like the Berens cover. It's nice. And it also sells for double ratio at the moment. And I think I talked about that in one of my new comic book day videos. I said to go look for that one. It was a good one. And sure enough, I was correct, as I usually am. Another one, I just like a good Darth Vader cover. This is the 1 in 100 Virgin variant of Star Wars Dark Droids. I think this is the last issue number, is it 5 or 6? Maybe number 6. Might be 5. I can't remember. But yeah, just a cool cover. And I got that right around ratio, maybe a tad less. And that one also goes for more than $100 now. That one, people like that one. That one's staying strong on eBay at the moment. This was just a cover I liked. I even forgot that I bought 2 copies of it, but I got 2 copies of Street Fighter #1. This is the Udon variant. Who's the artist again that did this one? He's kind of new. He's done a lot of stuff on Insta. I checked out his Instagram. What the hell is his name? Let me see here. I like this cover a lot, though. Does it say his name in here anywhere? Oh, Inkpot. There it is. There it is. Inkpot. Good old Inkpot. Yeah. So that was an exclusive through that Udon Entertainment. I guess you had to buy it originally from them online. I think originally it was like $25 or $30 to buy it through their website. I mean, I got these for like $40 or $50. So I think they sold as high as about 75. I don't know where the pricing is now on these, but man, I mean, I'm a Street Fighter fan, and I think that cover is always going to be on the minds of Street Fighter comic book collectors. So yeah, that was an easy one to pick up. This next one is Swan Songs #6. This is the 1 in, I think it's the 1 in 50. Is it the 1 in 50 or 1 in 25? I think it's a 1 in 50. I bought Midtown's only copy. It's sold out. I think I paid $54 for this. I could not find it anywhere else online. The only place I saw this, there was a listing on eBay that had it for $100. And it sat there for $100 for 2 or 3 weeks, and then someone bought it. So this, I would assume, is a fairly rare book. I don't know. If I go on eBay right now and look to see if there's any listings, I haven't done that in a week. So let's take a look. Swan Songs #6, the 1 in 50. Let's see if there's anything that shows up. Let's take a look, shall we? All right, well, it's not coming up as the first listing. There's the regular A cover. Another A cover, another A cover. There's a B cover. B cover is kind of cool too. Yeah, I don't see any listings of that. It would come up by now. We're 10 deep now. Yeah. So I don't know. Is this a book that people care about? I mean, it's got the Ice Cream Man on the cover. That's the same writer, W. Maxwell Prince. I have not read any of this. I've read the first issue of Swan Songs. It's definitely dark. It's definitely got a dark take to it. I've not read the other issues. I am going to get to doing that hopefully soon. But yeah, that I just like that cover a lot, and I know it's a rare book. No LCS is going to have this. I mean, your local comic book shop, they're not going to have. They're not ordering 50 copies of Swan Songs. They're just not. Midtown had one copy. Golden Apple had one copy, and they sold that one for like 125. So I don't know. What's that book worth? You tell me. It's probably going to be up there. I probably wouldn't sell my copy for less than 100. I know that. But there's been no copies for sale on eBay for quite a while now, so it's pretty interesting. Unnatural Order. This was a total cover by Tim Daniel, I think, did that cover. Just so cool. I ended up buying 2 copies. The story, Vault Comics. Vault is not a very good publisher. I can't believe they're still in business, actually. The only comic book they ever produced that I liked was Heathens. I think they did a comic book called Heathens, which was kind of a Viking story. It was a take on the Viking mythos. But instead of the traditional male character, they had the daughter of the leader of the Viking tribe ended up being the hero of the story, which I just thought it was a cool take. It was well written, well illustrated. There were rumors for years that they were going to develop that into a show. Maybe, I don't know. It'd be perfect for animation if they wanted to do an animated series on it, but nothing's ever transpired. So at one time, those books were going for pretty good money. Now you probably can pick them up pretty cheap. All right. GTE Comics says the Blood Moon series Mundus Tenebras. Oh yeah, that Vincenzo. Yeah, I didn't pick up. Next week he's got a nice cover coming out. I missed that one. It sold out on Midtown. I've not seen it anywhere else for sale. So yeah, I agree. It's a good cover. Maybe one will pop up on eBay, but it seems like they're pretty low print run books. But yeah, awesome cover. I totally agree with you. Very nice. Parker Rizzo, good to see you, Parker. Yes, the comic book room is coming along. I've got some new additions. I got my Meeseeks here in the back. I got to turn him on. He's the windsock Meeseeks. It's one of those deals, right? I need to probably get new batteries. But there he is. Turn him off. And then I've got my Iron Giant. That Iron Giant, by the way, that's the Shadow variant, which is not easy to find. It took me 2 years to find somebody that had that for sale. And just so happened there was a guy the guy that owned it was going through a divorce and needed the money. So, and I paid a lot of money for that, but man, I had to. I've always kind of wanted that. I've seen it before. I've watched it for a couple of years at least on eBay. And just the regular gray version is all you'll usually see on there. Mundo, I think Mundo was the manufacturer, which they're a Japanese company that makes statues and toys and stuff. Yeah, they do a really good job. The quality is amazing on that figure. It's about 16 inches tall. He can move his hands around. He's got like his eyes light up on the back. You can kind of, he says things. You can light his eyes up. It's pretty cool. And then I got this one. This was a lot cheaper version. This was a one that I pre-ordered, which is just the smaller version. It looks like he's made of metal, but it's actually just a hard plastic. They make the plastic look pretty good, like it's like almost like it's metal. But yeah, he's got these arms, and I think he does have he's got like a light for his eye. I think they have a light. Let's see. Yeah, his eyes light up, which is kind of cool. Yeah. I got my two Iron Giants for my comic book room. And then up here, I've got the, I got my Imperial Droid up there and my Doctor Doom. So that's it. I think that's the only figures I'm going to have in the room. I need to put up more shelving though. I've got room to put shelving between the closet and this shelf. So I'm going to put up some more shelving so I can put more books up. And I've got a whole wall across the way that I could, that I could use too. You can kind of see there. There's my Bernie Wrightson print and my Alex Ross Superman. So yeah, the room's coming along. I got my favorite comic books up on the wall most of the time. But I think what I'm going to do is I may have some, like I'm going to do a wrestling live stream where I just put up all my wrestling books and we kind of have a segment where we talk about the wrestling comic books. Maybe I'll get Biggie Shack to come on and provide some entertainment. I'm sure he'd be open to do that. Oh, the last few books I wanted to show, this is probably the hottest series of 2023 is Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. This is issue 2. This is the 1 in 50 variant. Picked that up for right around ratio pricing on that. And then the big book I just got in is the graded copy of number 1. I just posted this on Instagram as well, 9/8. I paid right at $200 with shipping for this book. Right now, I think there's only 2 listings of this on eBay, and I think they're asking over $900 for this book now. So I don't know if it's going to sell that high, but I don't think you're going to be able to buy it for $200 anymore. Oh, by the way, I've shown this book off before too. There is a Ginny Frizen. I'm a fan of Ginny Frizen. Obviously, you guys know that. I buy a lot of her covers. I just think she's a great, fantastic artist. And she did a metal cover for Red Sonja number 1. And apparently it's hard to get in a 9/8 because there was somebody that posted their signed copy that was a 9/6, and they said that they could not find a 9/8 copy. And supposedly on the census, there's not that many 9/8s. So I feel pretty lucky that I got this in a 9/8, signed by Frizen. If you go on eBay right now, there's none for sale, no 9/8s that are signed and that are metal. You'll find the foil 9/8s and the regular virgin copies that are graded 9/8, but you won't find the metal. I guess the metal, sometimes the metal process is not good for the book. It can damage the book a little bit. And apparently, the problem with this slab though is I can see, like, it almost looks like inside the slab there's like discolor. I don't know what it is. It's like I don't know if you can kind of see it. There's like something inside the slab. Like, I don't know. This is another problem with grading is sometimes the inside of the slab, there'll be an imperfection on the other side of the plastic. Like maybe somebody's fingerprint, or there's a scuff there. I don't know what it is. It still looks pretty good, but if you look at it up close, you'll be like, what the hell's, there's like something on the inside of the casing. What are you going to do? It's I still buy slabs. I still think, this was a good deal. I got it for around $215, and I could probably sell it for $1,000 since there's none for sale. And 9/6s are selling for about $400 to $500 now, slabbed. So, I still buy slab books. I'd rather buy raw most of the time. I buy raw. GTE Comics says, I ask you every time you do Thursday live streams. So once again, do you think we will ever see a Something is Killing the Children or a DOT show? That's a good question. I mean, Something is Killing the Children. That's a tough one. That's a tough one to do. I think you could probably see a animation come out eventually on Something is Killing the Children. It makes more sense that the Department of Truth does a live action, kind of like an X-Files. I think, that could be the next X-Files type show. I heard they're coming out with a new X-Files though, and I've already heard that it's going to be terrible. I don't know. They're not involving the original creator, Chris Carter. I think was the one that originally wrote the X-Files. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, those comic books are still holding up pretty well, but I know issue number 1, the first couple issues of Department of Truth, yeah, they've fallen in value quite a bit. Something is Killing Children. There's still some premium on there, hard to find. 1 in 25. Some of the ratios are still going for good money. Some of the later printings, I've got that. Yeah, I mean, I've got the three most valuable books from that series, really, which is the probably the most valuable is that Frizen cover. That's the sketch. That's tough to find. That's a really hard book to find. That goes for about $1,500 to $2,000. That book in 9/8, and then this one's tough to find too. This is the 6th printing. That one's tough to get. Yeah, so I've got most of the, and then the other one that's really valuable, that's tough to find too in good grade, is the number 8, 1 in 25 by DeCall. That's probably Jeff DeCall's best cover he's ever done, I think. I mean, he's done a couple of really good covers, but I think that one's his best. And then I have the regular A cover. I got the regular A cover in high grade. Never sent it in for grading. I'm sure it would get a 9/8. I don't even think I ever opened that book because I think I only read the later printings. I didn't even get around to reading it until like the 3rd or 4th printing was already out. So yeah. What else do I have here? Yeah, that's kind of it. Oh, this was on my, yeah, I still have these out. This was on my best covers of 2023. Alex Maleev. These are tough to find. I got 2 of them too. I really like that cover. Just awesome. It's like a white negative. I mean, find me a better Star Wars cover than that. I mean, that's a good one. I'm surprised no one talks about that cover much. It's crazy. It's one of the best Star Wars covers ever, in my opinion. All right, guys. What else do you want to talk about? Anything else? Do we want to talk more about, Parker says, do you think CGC is going to change the holders now? I mean, I've talked about that. I think they probably should. Instead of having, you've got basically 4 sides that can be compromised, right? So instead, what you could probably do is have one that closes, or maybe have one it's already closed and there's only the ability to open the top to slide the book in, and then you have a way of sealing that at the top, and maybe they could put some kind of tape that seals that you can't heat up. And if you try to heat it up and take it off, it'll destroy the tape. I mean, there's got to be a way for them to to find a way to have the book sealed where it can't be tampered with. They could absolutely do that, but it's probably going to have to be something where the book would have to slide in on the top or the bottom, and there's got to be only one point of entry. You can't have something where the book opens up where the slab has 4 points of entry. It's got to have one point of entry, which is the top or the bottom, and you got to have a way to seal that off with some type of tamper-proof tape, maybe something that can't be heated up, something that can't be tampered with. And if you try to tamper with it, it'll destroy it and obviously invalidate the book. But man, that could create a whole different set of problems, because if you create something that maybe is too delicate, it gets damaged by handling or something. I don't know. It could create problems, because you might have a legitimate book where that tampering process was compromised, and all of a sudden, that book is questionable. It's like if you're going to buy a slab today, if I try to sell this slab and there's a big crack in it, who's going to want to buy a slab with a crack in it? yeah, the book might be a 9.8, it might be authentic, but maybe it isn't. It's been cracked. That means it could have been opened, right? So, that's going to be the issue. Is people may question the authenticity of the slab if you've got some type of tamper-proof thing that once that tamper-proof seal is broken, boom, that's it. Yeah, I don't know, man. What is this? Ben Stein mentioned on his top 10 show. Oh yeah, the Essentia Redemption. Oh God, you're still pumping that thing. Let it go, GT comic. I don't think you're going to get your. Maybe next year. Frank Miller. It's still sitting on Frank Miller's desk. He just hasn't gotten around to it. Frank Miller. It's amazing he's still alive. He looks like he's 90 years old. Yeah. Once again, oh well. I don't know when you get those books, man. Hopefully one day you do. I still want to see your 9.4 regraded as a 9.0. Oh, your X-Men 94? Yeah. I still have, yeah. Dude, I'm afraid to do anything with this book now. I don't know. What the hell? Something could be wrong with this book. Maybe I send it in and they say it's even lower. I don't know. It's such a good copy, though, right? There's no... Look at that. No spine ticks on this X-Men 94. No creases, edges are really, really good. I think the only criticism is maybe at the very top you could see, God, it's barely noticeable. I mean, this book looks like a 9.6 or a 9.8. I swear, it looks that good. The back of it looks beautiful. There's no spine ticks, nothing. This is one of the cleanest X-Men 94s I've ever seen, and it's a graded an 8.5. With CBCS. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely one that I think most people would be like, why aren't you sitting that in and getting that regraded? Yeah, I probably should. It looks so good. I guess part of it's because I'm afraid to. I don't know. Maybe there's something on the inside of the book. There's really no grader notes on it. I looked up the grader's notes on it. It just doesn't really have anything. It doesn't say anything about why it's an 8.5. So it makes me think that it was incorrectly graded. I don't know. I mean, I've seen 9.4s that don't look this good. So, yeah, I mean, this is a lot more expensive book if that was graded like a 9.4 or 9.6. Man, imagine a 9.8. Holy crap, that'd be an expensive book. That's probably what, $15,000, $20,000 book if it's a 9.8. Yeah, that would be one that I probably should send in for grading. I'm just too afraid to, I guess. I don't know. I'd rather get that graded like in person by CGC. They don't do that though. That's what I would like. I would pay more money. Oh, GTE says I didn't mention it. Ben Stein. Yes, Ben Stein mentioned it. I'm very good. I like Ben. I used to give him a hard time when he did that top 10 list. I would give him a hard time sometimes, but he does his own top 10 list now. He has a good little following, which is nice. I should have him on the show. I've asked him if he wants to come on the show. He did show some interest in doing that. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll have him on the show just to talk about, what's the process in selecting hot 10 books, books that you think should be on a list. If such a list is created somewhere, be kind of an interesting interview. And he has a unique collecting eye. He likes to collect kind of obscure, rare books that no one really talks. Kind of like me, I like to buy books that no one really talks about. I mean, that's Swan Song #6. Nobody's talking about this book. This isn't on a hot 10 list. This is a freaking super rare book. It's super rare. No one's talking about it though. No one seems to care, I guess. I don't know. I care. I like it. I think it's a great writer. So that's what I have. So last year, I think the book of the year was probably Beneath the Trees, right? That's your #1 indie book last year, for sure. And that came out at the end of the year. I think that came out in November. So issue 3 is coming out I believe, in another week or so, end of January. I think issue 3 will be out. Yeah, we'll have to see what those prices of those are going to be, but yeah, people are going to be chasing them. So Ultimate Spider-Man #1, I didn't pick up any copies. Did you guys pick any copies up of Ultimate Spider-Man #1? I didn't pick up any. Not even one. If there was if someone in the chat or somebody, one of my subscribers has like 10 of them and wants to send me one as an AOK, that would be awesome. So if anybody has a bunch of extra copies, or I'll tell you what, I'll even exchange one. If you have a copy, especially the black cover, I like the black suit one. If you have a black suit or a regular A cover and you want to exchange it for one of my Black Panther #3s, I will do that as well. Oh, look at GT Comic. He's going to do it. Oh, you're such a good man. Yeah, I didn't pick any of those up. I mean, but what's funny is like the ratio books are still selling at ratio, like the 1 in 100. I saw a 1 in 100 on eBay last night for $80 for the 1 in 100. For the A cover is going for almost as much as the 1 in 100 ratio is. That to me seems crazy. There's also a J. Scott Campbell 1 in 500. I've seen that one for sale for $400. It's crazy. So I don't know what the hell's going on with this comic book. Oh, he's got no cover A, B, or C. Okay, I'll take what you have, man. I'd like to at least get one first print of whatever cover is available. That'd be awesome. Thank you, sir. But it's so funny how the A cover is the one that everyone wants. Isn't that funny? The ratio, the 1 in 25. I think I saw a listing for like $35 the other day, $30. No one cares about the 1 in 25. No one cares about the 1 in 100. I find that amazing. They want the A cover. The A cover is the one everyone wants, and the black suit one too, which is I think the B cover probably. Isn't that nuts? I just think that's crazy. Hey, that's it, man. The public likes what it likes. Oh, here's the reason. Looks like the A, Bs, and Cs were shorted to the LCSs. Either that or every seller is pumping and dumping. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what happens in the coming weeks. Does that book come down in price? $50 for a book that just came out it does seem a little ridiculous. I don't know. I mean, I remember when Something Beneath the Trees was the A cover was $30. I could have easily bought one for $30 and I didn't. Luckily I bought the graded copy for for $200, but I could have bought a regular A cover for $30 and I thought, oh, that seems high. That'll come down in price. Nope. It went right back up. What's it $100 now at least to buy that book? It's crazy. We got Pat S saying hi. Good to see you, my friend. Thanks for stopping by. First print variant. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. GT Comic is always a great supporter of my channel. Always appreciated, my friend. Oh, by the way, talking about Canadians, GT Comic hails from the great country of Canada, which right now is probably suffering extreme low temperatures. What's the temperature up there, my friend? I mean, the other day I got a buddy that's from Columbus, and he told me it was 12 degrees the other day in Columbus. With wind chill, it felt basically it was like 10 below with wind chill. I mean, there's been some nasty blizzards up north. I've seen some people send me videos of a really bad blizzard that hit this highway, and there's all these semis, going full speed that can't stop because they hit a big ice road, and it's just crazy. That's one thing about living in Florida. God, I think I'd have a hard time driving on ice. I think that would be scary. That would be tough. But by the way, speaking of great Canadians like GTK Comic, I spoke to Jim's Comics the other day, who hasn't done a video in like a year. he does this every so often. He'll go away. He'll be doing videos for a year or so, and then he gets fed up, or like I know he's just fed up with comic books these days. The SJW, the wokeness that's in most mainstream comics these days. He's really fed up with it. So he basically told me he hasn't been collecting comic books since like the middle of last year. He was collecting the Incredible Hulk run by Donny Cates, and then that fell off really badly. I don't think he's been. The new Hulk run is actually pretty good. So I don't know if he's going to start picking it back up again, but I had a good conversation with him the other day. He's doing well. He's just really busy in retirement, and he's moved into a new place, and yeah, he's just got a lot of stuff going on. But maybe one of these days, I'd love to have him on the channel one of these days. So I don't know. Maybe he'll watch this video. He resubscribed to my channel, which he was subscribed to me years ago. But you know how YouTube is. They knock people off. I've had people that have messaged me saying, "Hey man, I thought I was subscribed to you. All of a sudden I'm not subscribed to you." Yeah, I don't think YouTube likes me for some reason. They unsubscribe my subscribers on occasion. So always check to make sure you're still subscribed to my channel. Pat S says, I remember when Amazing Spider-Man September 11th, 2001 was sold out. The day it came out, it's always been an expensive book since. Yep. That's right. I remember that. Yeah, man, that was a long time. It's hard to believe it was that long ago now. Isn't that crazy? 23 years ago? God. Or almost 23 years ago. GTK Comics says knee deep in snow, 12 degrees Fahrenheit in my part of Canada. No joke. Oh man, that's freaking cold. Well, stay bundled up, my friend. Don't go out in that weather. It sounds nasty. I was complaining today because it was like 64. I mean, we've had a couple days in the 50s. I think a couple mornings, maybe in the low 40s. But man, compared to 12 degrees, that's a delight, right? Yeah, I shouldn't be complaining. But us Florida people, you live in Florida for so long, your blood gets really thin. For some reason, when it gets in the 50s, you feel like it's below zero. It's kind of stupid, but I don't know. It's everybody that moves here says the same thing too. Like I used to be able to take 20 degree weather all the time, wear shorts, and they move down here, and after a year, they're like, they think 50 degrees is just way too cold. Yep. Getting a phone call there. I'll have to call that person back. Yeah, minus 11 Celsius. There you go. Pat says G.I. Joe comic, Image Comics, and Transformers Image are the only current books I follow. There you go. I heard the writing's good. I need to pick them up. I love that Transformers number 4, 1 in 50 cover. That Megatron cover. Yeah, 64. I know. I can't use my pool though. It's too damn cold. All right, guys. What else do we got going on? I think that's about it. Pat S says, do you remember the Mark Hamill's book, The Black Pearl, back in 96, 97? Really? No, I don't remember that. Mark Hamill. He still looks good for his age. Him and Harrison Ford, they're still alive. Maybe they'll be in a Star Wars movie again one day. Who knows? If it's under different direction. All right, guys, that's about all I had for you. I just want to talk about those books. Hope everyone is having a great week. I will be doing a CBSI Hot 10 list this weekend. So Friday that comes out. If I have time Friday night, I'll do it. If not, it'll be maybe on Saturday. So look for that. Hope everyone has a great Thursday evening, and I'll see you soon.